Hello, friends. One of the hardest things that I have had to let go of is the one who is efforting, the one who thinks that she's the one who needs to make things happen, the one who is trying and working hard and comparing there's being that is outside of our true being that is working very, very hard to survive, be loved, get ahead, all that stuff. And then when we realize that that physical efforting is just a lot of hard work, then we can switch over to the mental efforting. And there is a place for all of that. 100%. You can't just, jump from here to here. There are these stepping stones along the way, so we can fully embody it and not do the spiritual bypass. So the phase that many people have gone through for a long time is manifesting, manifesting. And a lot of this manifesting is being done through a lot of hard work. If you're somebody who's trying to manifest something, you go through the steps. I did a lot of work around that some years ago with a very, very wonderful, wonderful, popular teacher, where it's about creating your future self and doing all these meditations. And I mean, many times it felt like I had to turn myself into a pretzel to do all these things, to do a lot of special breathing. And it was just a lot of work. And I was willing to try it because that was the phase I was going through. And, honestly, it didn't get me anywhere. It just made me exhausted. And also, I kind of felt like a failure because nothing happened. So I know a lot of people can relate to that. And it's not that we're doing it wrong. It has a place in all of us. And it definitely helped me with becoming more clear on what nonsense my mind was throwing at me. So there was a big shift in not engaging with that anymore. And I kind of let it all go. It was one of these ones like, well, it's not working. It's not working, or it's not working for me. And I have a lot of those examples in my life where it's like, it's not working for me. And then until I really became aware that that was a belief that I had inside that it's not going to work. No matter what I do, it's not going to work. Can you relate to that? I did share a little bit about it recently. And it's this thing, you buy into it, but you're not really 100% conscious of what you're doing. Actually, I shared this with a good friend of mine not too long ago, and I said, I just really am so aware of this underlying program that says it's not going to work for me. No matter what I do, it's not going to work. And so what I basically did was I was sending out that intention, sending out, feeling that intention, maybe even doing some of the work that I was taught. And but underneath it all, there was this filter that said it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I tried to ignore it and kept working hard and efforting and working harder. And it didn't work. Okay. And then I wanted to face this belief that it's not going to work for me. And that's what I shared with my friend. And I'm really, really working it. I've shared some videos around it if you want to follow me in that. If you aren't already a good manifester, then I celebrate you. But I shared that and she says, you know what? I have that too. And that was kind of the end of that conversation around it. It was like, yeah, I have that too. And this is a very, very conscious, beautiful being who's doing, beautiful work in the world. But afterwards, I thought, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, yeah, I do that. It's like, yeah, I do that. But that was the end. That was the period. But now I opened up a new paragraph where I'm going for that sucker. I will not let that run my life anymore. And that, because of that, there was a belief I need to work harder. I need to do it more often. I need to, put more energy into it. This filter in there, it won every time. Even as I was feeling, an intention, I could just feel that underlying thing in there. And the more I was just being present with that and working it, it started dissolving because I was now taking charge of what I want, of what my heart wants, of what I sense the divine frequencies want to come out through me, as itself. And I didn't want this thing to get in the way. So now I am just really working that little sucker, and it is already shifting my energy really, really strongly. It's incredible what's happening. Because of that belief, there was a tendency to have to work harder and efforting and trying more. And I know I am not the only one, like with everything I share. I'm just one little example of what most people are going through. I'm not saying everybody, but most of us. So I'm just exposing it. I am the big exposer of the BS that we have put in here as the smear in the mirror. That's it. And then you can see what you want to do with that. That's totally up to you. I wouldn't just say, I wouldn't stop where I say, yeah, I know I do that. Don't stop there. Don't stop there. Take that as a pointer, as a sign, like, oh, that one. I'm going to go after that sucker. And going after it, it's not like you get your pitchfork out and go try and pin it down, but you just get very, very curious about it. And you let it be there. You start realizing that this is not who I am. This is a program. And when you do that, maybe a few times, then you will notice that there is a gap happening where there's you being able now to see that this is a program. Whereas before, you were the program. It's like, yeah, I know I do that. I'm the program. I can't do anything about it. It's like, oh, yes, you can. And you must. You must. So, starting to realize it's a program, you start getting a gap and you can see it. You'll see it more often. You see it easier. And then you have the choice to say no more. No more. We're done. Now your intention can get the life that it needs from you, from me. Now you can go into your heart and fuel it from within instead of letting the matrix fuel it with gasoline and burn it up. And it's like, no, it's never working, right? No, now you fuel it with your heart's longing, with the passion, the joy, the aliveness, the gratitude of what this desire brings. And remember, desire from the king, the god, the stallion. It comes from God. Our desire comes from God. So we want to uncover this thing that keeps getting in the way of it. And a very good sign is that you're working hard to make things happen, that you're trying to manifest and you put a lot of effort into it because there is a belief that it's not going to happen or any flavor thereof. I'm not saying that is your specific one, but when you find your specific one, You'll feel it like an energetic thing. And then when you add to that, that's like, that is not mine. There's more energy. There's this relief, space, joy. And then the work begins, not the effort, but the work to keep seeing it and saying no to it and keep coming back to your heart's desire. Now, being in your heart's desire, in your what God divine wants for you as you, not separate. It's like this is the divine as you moving into new expression. As you fuel that, you don't need to effort. The work is to keep coming back here in that sweet feeling of joy, of passion, of energy, of yes. That is the work, but it's not an efforting because it feels so darn good. Now, that is also taught by people who teach manifestation. I'm not saying they don't do that because they do. And maybe a lot of the efforting is to come to the place where you can really, really just feel the joy, the gratitude of this desire from the divine that wants to manifest itself. Now, what would that look like? Well, it can only manifest as itself, as the qualities of itself. What are they? Peace, love, oneness, joy, wholeness. Wholeness in the body, wholeness in your purse, wholeness in relationship. That is, those are the qualities of the divine that it wants to manifest freely without the smear, without the fear. It wants to just move through that. But we have to be willing to distance ourselves from it, to really create that gap where we are not willing anymore to engage with it. So that takes like a sword, it's like I will not, I refuse. That's how strong my resolve has been. That's when things change because when I clearly refuse to engage with the matrix in whatever stupid form it wants to pull me in, that liberates this energy to follow what my deepest divine desire wants. And then there's no more efforting. I'm not saying I'm all there because I'm still working on that smear that I had carried with me that it's not going to work no matter what I do. It's going to take a little while. All my cells and the whole neural pathway has been programmed like that. So I need to deprogram it by letting these neural pathways that have fired and wired together, I need to keep ungapping them or creating a gap so that, and then I fuel that with the desire. So it starts creating new neural pathways. And these ones eventually will atrophy because they're not being engaged and wired anymore. So there is some work involved, but it really is sweet work because it feels really good when we give ourselves permission to feel the goodness of what our deepest desire wants to express and experience. It feels good. So when I sit down to meditate, I'm not trying to I want this and I feel it and I just go in and just feel that sweetness of the desire. And then it's like, yes. And then I let that just ripple out. It helps me to know that it's rippling out. It's like that's the antidote to the one that says it's not going to happen. Now that I feel it, I'll say, yeah, and I really can feel it rippling out. So that all goes back into that sweet feeling that is wonderful to sit in. So in a way, we take seat in the divine and in all the qualities that it is, that we are already. And then we don't need to work so hard to create whatever it is that we want. We can just sit back and allow the divine to just move through us and show us what it is without the smear. Yes, that's my sharing for today. Please reach out if you need support in that transition. We all do. And please join me on, I think it's August 5th, the first Tuesday of August, the first Tuesday of every month. That's when I offer an online gathering where we definitely talk about this, practice it, deepen into it, and really get in touch with that energy that wants to express itself. We make space for it and we open up to it together. And the links will be down in the description. My friends, thank you for listening. Please like, comment, share if this message resonates with you. It will help my channel go out to more people. The more people who like it and share, and especially sharing, I think is a good thing. And comment. I love your comments. The more who do that, the more it's able to be seen by more people. All right, I'll talk to you again soon. Have a beautiful day.